How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
You don't see the Empress of Orlais almost killed in cold blood every day.
Not so brazenly, no. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
My favorite moment of the evening is still our waltz in the garden.
I could have danced with you for hours. We must do it again sometime. I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from Archon Redanus of Tevinter and King Marcus of Nevada. For both monarchs to come to us is nearly unheard of.
Then the Inquisition's deeds have won their respect.
They'd never have contacted us otherwise. Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral party, destroy a venatory cult on the Nevaran-Tevinter border. King Marcus asks the same, but demands we pledge allegiance to Nevada instead of Tevinter.
What sort of man is the King of Navarra?
At this point, elderly. Many fear his health will soon fail him. Still, he is a Pentagast. Their dynasty is exceptionally strong in Nevada.
As a Pentagast, will Cassandra be upset if we don't help her relatives?
With all respect to Sikar Pentagast, her interest in politics is best described as thin.
Why is the ruler of Tevinter turning on the Venatori?
He has little reason to love them. Archon Redanus has rightly identified Corypheus as competition. Few monarchs relish a self-styled god showing up to claim their throne.
Tell me about Redanus.
Like most Tevinter rulers, he's heir to an ancient bloodline, politically shrewd, and a highly skilled mage. Rumor also claims he has an incredibly soft spot for cats.
What course of action would you take if you were in my place?
Strained as their relationship with Orlais is, I would assist the Imperium. Their friendship is difficult to win, and Marcus is a fading power. Tevinter is the longer, richer game.
I actually have relatives in Navarra. If you reason with the Archon, the Trevellians can persuade King Marcus we should help both countries.
Letting the Inquisition curry favor with both Tevinter and Nevada. Most ideal. It's good to see you.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Let's speak later.
Another time. I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture. You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
The consequences of our dance continue to echo, Lady Florian.
Despite her posture, Lady Florian has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realize he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
She respects only the shallow demands of court. She must seek higher purpose. Florian de Chalon, you will be cloistered within the Chantry.
Boredom, your worship. The sentence you have imposed is boredom.
Demons come from? Mages. The Fade. But where did they come from? The Makers first.
Stone mad, Inquisitor.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Here you go, Inquisitor. I wrote up some thoughts. Hope it adds to the effort. Stone mad, Inquisitor.
Do you have insight into the stories these...
Tell you what. You finish. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective. Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Carry on.
The center of all creation, and for a time you dwelled among them. Watched over them as a gardener.
O Creator, see me near, for I walk only where you would bid me. Stand only in places you have blessed.
Herald of Andraste.
Can you tell...
What would you like to know?
How...
We have... Your soldiers have been blooded, Inquisitor.
Do you...
The refuge with the people... More than that I cannot say. It is a chaos.
Farewell.
Make her go.
Tis a large fortress, Inquisitor. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit. Occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Terras Alan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may. I understand you have spared the Grey Wardens from destroying what goodwill was left them. 'Tis good of you, considering the weakness Corypheus exploited was their own doing. Still, should a true archdemon one day arise, they will no doubt be needed. Or so they would have us believe.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. A web of favors has wrapped every noble family in southern Thedas around your fingers. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
We have to defeat him first. Then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet, more or less. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah yes, whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. She is the reason the Blight was defeated. We did not part on good terms. I regret a great deal, but that, most of all. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Until next time, then.
Inquisitor.
Many are those who rise up against me, but my faith sustains me. I shall not fear the Legion should they set themselves against me.
Inquisitor?
Maker, my enemies are abundant, filled with silence. I knew then, and crossed my heart with shame.
asked Mother Giselle, and she said you're wrong.
Probably. Does it matter? They're just stories. We fought demons. They're real. And they died. The Maker doesn't die.
He doesn't do anything.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but you won't tell me what it's for.
My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. I would do no less for you, after all.
I'm not a hunter. Why do you think I can help?
This beast is not hunted for sport, as other wyverns sometimes are. It is far more deadly. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched to either kill the creatures or drive them away from villages. Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success. My dear, did you need me for something?
What are your thoughts about the others?
Sir Varric was spying on us all this... I'll have to watch him more closely. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
Do you think that you and I might...
My dear, you are delightful, but that's quite...
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shirao, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promise, and motivation is where great... In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
I hope you know that I didn't turn over Briala lightly. If I'd had another option...
What? Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Your people have lost so much of their history and culture. To not even think of yourself that way.
I think of myself as me. That's all I've ever needed. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Even if we couldn't help Briala, I hope we can make life better for Orlesian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears. Good afternoon.
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions.
Perhaps you could ask Sarah. She has opinions.
You don't much care for Sarah, do you?
I pity her. Although I imagine she would... She has a purity of purpose that I lack. What do you wish to know?
I'd like to...
The Dalish strive to remember
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the Empire, and Arlathan its great.
You've studied a...
We hear stories of them live. Imagine instead imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing.
I'd like to know more.
It is a mistake to think, as a consequence, some trade freely with humans, or adopt city elves or flee.
What can you tell...
The culture in Alien, they cling to memories of a better past.
Is Elven...
No and yes. Dalish magic, much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The...
No. Some spells took years to... It must have been beautiful.
You said that...
I did. Most modern cult, but as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
To be honest, I don't see it as different from any other magic.
Indeed. The problem is, while interventing, they always succeed through power, so they have never had the chance.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. You saved an empress, and now she's eating out of your hand. Perfect mental image. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
That's something you'd like to do more of?
Watch as you twist an entire empire around your little finger. Of course, that leaves only...
No.
Our dances are so much more intense. If an evening lacks a murder... I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair.
I should go.
As you wish. Here we are again.
I should go.
Try not to die. I wouldn't notice you were gone.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
As you were.
Yes. So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems. A message from Divine Justinia.
That's a shock. You're right reading it.
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
You take your instructions from me? What sort of help can a dead divine give you?
I don't know. Perhaps something to do with the Chantry. Or it could be personal.
She guided me for many years, Inquisitor, as a divine and as a friend. There are days when I still look to her for advice, only to remember that I am alone. Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it? Justinia was revered mother at the chantry there for many years before she became the divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her. I'll help in whatever way I can. Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the chantry in Valence. Try not to delay. Inquisitor? You seem to know a great many people. I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. What do you know of... I first met her when we were traveling with the hero of Ferelden. Morrigan can be a powerful ally. Just work with her, learn from her, trust her if you must. But we can continue this conversation. You know where I am.
I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. Their politics are less extravagant, but the Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
Is there any...
My senior having the Imperial Army, the Chevaliers following our champion. The recruits are taken with the idea.
Is there any...
Your plan is set. I will see you reach the temple before Corypheus. Josephine seems happier of late.
I hope so. Josephine deserves every happiness.
She's been smiling constantly since your trip to Val Royeaux. I swear at one point she was humming.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present. Who do you mean? Our soldiers. More importantly, they relied on each other. Trusting.
What do you think of...
Your opinion is more important. As an ambassador for the Inquisition, she is skilled. We are fortunate to have her.
How do you like...
The Inquisition? I may not... Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but...
I should let you get back...
Want a drink? I've a hankering for company. When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day, they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them for food. I caught it, tied a rope around its neck, and strung it up. Do you know what I did?
You stopped them? Cut the dog down?
I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting. And I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself. We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
Nothing worth doing is easy.
Look at you. You would have done the right thing. We're lucky there are people like you in the world. There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
Inquisitor.
What's the current mood?
Turgid?
What?
Don't tell Corypheus, but learning about his servants has affected how people view him. I think negatively.
As you...
Inquisitor.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam, at least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
I hate politics.
You've got a crappy job. Hey, you need me?
See you later, Bull.
Your worship?
We'll talk later.
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way. I hope I can help somehow. Maybe cleaning.
Going well, I hope?
What's been good?
Just relaxing. Taking a breath. You need to sometimes to keep...
Shouldn't...
In a bit. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So...
Me? When the Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by...
Take care.
A space to watch, respect, and fear.
Our hero strode the winding road. Inquisitor, a title hard to rhyme. A challenge for another day, I think. Forgive me my name is Merida, a humble bard. What? A simple thing that... Inquisitor, perhaps I'll also make a coin or two.
Are you a...
Oh, heavens no. I hope my skills will help in some small way. If...
Carry on.
Oh, I will... There is an issue that you should address.
Inquisitor.
Right. That's why.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Orlesian...
Yes. But none of them ever win.
I'll talk...
Goodbye. She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool up.
I'll talk to you...
If you like.
Inquisitor.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because they don't know what you are, and they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
I think you'd make an excellent divine.
Truly? I never look good in hats. Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you of all people say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Leliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Leliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
So this is your new crusade?
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority. Hello again.
So, you're a candidate for...
So I am in...
Is that something you...
Why should what I want matter?
Why shouldn't it matter? Don't you have the right to be happy?
It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive. I have never believed in art, so I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
I think you'd make an excellent...
Thank you. Let's hope the Chantry clerics agree.
Do you have any...
That's hardly so. Whatever advantage she hopes to gain, we need to...
Do you have...
You know what you need to do, Inquisitor.
That's enough.
Another time.
He wants what? I don't know. Oh, my maker, you cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Hablando. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut. Although it is...
How's it going? Do we have...
With Skyhold shining like a beacon? You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what... I think I like this job.
There are
There are always problems from Hablando. Although, if I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your...
As you were.
We are here for you.
Grand, isn't it? To know the sanctity of our great institutions.
Champion.
Yes?
A unique issue has arisen, Inquisitor. I pass it to you for consideration. I am at your service.
How are you doing?
In this gilded fortress? How could we know?
We'll speak in...
Of course. Lady Inquisitor.
So far in the reign of the lion,
Inquisitor.
eclipsed in the eye of the empire of Empress of fire.
One for the Empress, for Gaspar, Brianna, the Duchess, and Christus, right in the dangle bag.
All right, you're clearly annoyed. What can I do?
You're doing fine. It's the dead piled up in Hablando that's nagging at me. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a book for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
We decided the course of a nation. I think it was worthwhile.
Right, Orlais will never be the same. Except for everything they say and do. Ugh, you know the most important thing I got out of all of that mess? The one thing. Don't sleep with empresses. That's what that was all about. That, and Briala being an idiot. The whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
There was a lot more going on than a lover's spat.
Oh, sure.
There was.
Because of the hole in the sky? Pfft. Plenty of idiots around before, and there'll be plenty of idiots around after. Better save some arrows, yeah?
There's you, yes?
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Anything you need?
Pitter-patter, up and at it. Something strange for you, Inquisitor. You're used to that by now, right?
I'll see you later, Dagman.
I can't wait.
Yes?
Let's speak later.
All right.